I have a question. What is the future perfect used for? We use the future perfect for actions that will have finished before another action in the future. The future perfect can also be used to express something that will happen before a specific time in the future. For example, I will have finished my studies before I start my new job. The future perfect is used to show that something is going to continue until another action or even in the future. For example, next week I will have lived in Germany for 1 year.
Now then, let me explain you the affirmative structure of the future perfect tense. As you know already, we use this tense to describe an action that will be completed before a specific time. The affirmative structure is very simple. We only need a subject plus the auxiliary will and have, and the verb in past participle. For example, I will have finished my homework by tomorrow evening.
Okay, now I'm going to talk about the negative form of the future perfect. As you can see before, the affirmative grammatical structure of the future perfect is not that complicated. But don't worry, the negative form is very simple. Let's see it. You need to keep in mind that to negative a sentence, you need the auxiliary will not or its contraction won't. Obviously, without forgetting the auxiliary have and the verb in the past participle. The structure is very simple. You don't have to worry about conjugating the auxiliaries differently with the pronouns of the third, because I, you, we, they, he, she, and it use the same auxiliary will not have or won't have. But you must remember that after the auxiliary have, you must add a past participle verb to complete the negative form of the sentence. Some examples of these sentences could be I won't have finished by Monday. She will not have cooked dinner. They will not have left Japan.
As said before in previous slides by my partners, the future perfect tense is a verb tense used for actions that will be completed before some other point in the future. The future perfect tense has three forms of use as other tenses, which are positive, negative, and interrogative form. Continuing, I'm going to present the interrogative form. As its name, the interrogative form is to ask questions, to interrogate. The basic formula to this form is the future perfect tense is that you add will, shall at the start of the sentence followed by the subject, and the rest of the rule remains the same as negative or positive form. The sentence ends with a question mark, will plus subject plus have plus verb in past participle and question mark at the end. Two examples I can give are, will you have eaten lunch already when we arrive? Will they have finished decorating the float before the parade?
We are going to review with one example of a history. Now you need to listen and be careful because here we have some examples of the structure and each tense. So let's start. Julia had traveled a long days ago to Las Vegas because her sister was going to be married. In the trip, she accidentally fallen asleep because she drove from California to Las Vegas and she didn't rest well. Oh no! She was going to die right there, but fortunately she crashed in a tree and the impact wasn't so bad. Or maybe she thought that when she tried to turn on her car again, and this never started again. In that instant, she tried to call some crane that could carry her car to the mechanic, but the coverage was so poor in that road. Julia needed to walk for 1 hour to get coverage in a near town. She walked and finally she saw a telephone booth. Immediately she called to the mechanic that said that he will have repaired the car next week. Julia was shocked and sad at the same time. She really needed to be at the wedding of her sister in 1 day, and the trip would still be so long. Definitely, Julia called her sister after she got a crane. "Sis, I'm really sorry. My car is crashing right now. I won't have gone to the wedding by Wednesday." Julia was upset and wept because she knew how that day it was going to be so special for her sister. But her sister tried to comfort her, saying that she didn't need to worry about that because the wedding is going to put off for the next week. Something happened with the hall and decorations that ruined everything. The inside of Julia was happy at that moment, so before hanging up the call, she asked, "Will your assistant have done the decoration before the wedding started?"
"No, she won't. By the time she woke up, I would have done it by myself, and I lay off her for irresponsible."
Sisters started to laugh before they say goodbye. Now, I want that you stop right there this video and look out in the text for the sentences that we had in future perfect. And I need that you review it again and again all the time that you need it, because we have here all the forms that we reviewed before. So, yeah, see you at this time. Now we are going to review and check where are the sentences in this text. The first one is he will have repaired the car next week. This is a tense in affirmative form, as you know it and you review. The second one is my car is crashed right now. I won't have gone to the wedding by Wednesday. This is a negative form because we have won't have gone. And yeah, as you can see and review it. Now the third one. Will your assistant have done the decoration before the wedding started? Now we have here the interrogative form, because we have here the auxiliary will first and the interrogative. But it's not all completed, because we have here the short answer. That is, no, she won't. And it's one answer that we have with yes or no and subject must plus auxiliary will. So finally, the fourth is by the time she woke up, I will have done it by myself. And that's all. And this is a affirmative form, as you can see. And yeah, I hope that this exercise